Good evening. Let's read more. I start to get tired. It's 8 AM. I'm freezing a bit.
Sarin. 1. Sarin. Names pronunciation /SRN /preferred U park name propan 2-ur-methylphosphonofluoridate. Other names RS, O-isopropyl methylphosphonofluoridate, IMPF, GB winking sad smiley 2, 2-fluoromethylphosphoryl, oxypropane, phosphonofluoridic acid, P-methyl, 1-methylethyl EA1208TL1618T144 identifiers CAS number 107-44-8. Sarin, NATO designation GB, short for G series. B, is an extremely toxic organophosphorus compound. 4, a colorless odorless liquid. It is used as a chemical weapon due to its extreme potency as a nerve agent. Exposure can be lethal even at very low concentrations, where death can occur within 1 to 10 minutes after direct inhalation of a lethal dose. 5, 6. Due to suffocation from respiratory paralysis, unless antidotes are quickly administered. 4. People who absorb a non-lethal dose and do not receive immediate medical treatment may suffer permanent neurological damage. Sarin is widely considered a weapon of mass destruction. Production and stockpiling of sarin was outlawed as of April 1997 by the Chemical Weapons Convention of 1993, and it is classified as a Schedule I substance. Health effects. Like some other nerve agents that affect the neurotransmitter acetylcholine, sarin attacks the nervous system by interfering with degradation of the neurotransmitter acetylcholine at neuromuscular junctions. Death usually occurs as a result of asphyxia due to the inability to control the muscles involved in breathing. Initial symptoms following exposure to sarin are a runny nose, tightness in the chest, and constriction of the pupils. Soon after, the person will have difficulty breathing and they will experience nausea and drooling. As they continue to lose control of bodily functions, they may vomit, defecate, and urinate. This phase is followed by twitching and jerking. Ultimately, the person becomes comatose and suffocates in a series of convulsive spasms. Common mnemonics for the symptomatology of organophosphate, including sarin, are the killer BS of bronchoria and bronchospasm because they are the leading cause of death. 7. And SLUDGE salivation, lacrimation, urination, defecation, gastrointestinal distress, and emesis, vomiting. Death may follow in 1 to 10 minutes after direct inhalation. Check. 3D model, J-Small, interactive image. CHEBI 75701. Chembo Shimbal 5095554 check. Chemistry Spider 7583 check. Pubchemakid 7871. Unit 4XG 72QGFM. Comptox dashboard, EPA, C004231. In Kimchi equals 1S/C/4H10 for 2P/C1-4, 2, 7-8, 3-5, 6/H4H1-3H3 check. Key, Jok Wolf Xoaf Forisa N check. Inchi equals 1/C/4H10 for 2P/C1-4, 2, 7-8, 356/H4H1-3H3. Inch E equals 1/C4H10 for 2P/C1-4 2 7-8 356/H4H1-3H3 key Jock Wolfso Falio. Sarin has a high volatility, ease with which a liquid can turn into vapor, relative to similar nerve agents, making inhalation very easy, and may even absorb through the skin. A person's clothing can release sarin for about 30 minutes after it has come in contact with sarin gas, which can lead to exposure of other people. 8. Management. Treatment measures have been described. 8. Treatment is typically with the antidotes atropine and pralidoxime. 4. Atropine, an antagonist to muscarinic acetylcholine receptors, is given to treat physiological symptoms of poisoning. Since muscular response acetylcholine is mediated through nicotinic acetylcholine receptors, atropine does not counteract the muscular symptoms. Pralidoxime can regenerate choline esterases if administered within approximately 5 hours. Biperidone, a synthetic acetylcholine antagonist, has been suggested as an alternative to atropine due to its better blood-brain barrier penetration and higher efficacy. 9. Mechanism of action. Sarin is a potent inhibitor of acetylcholine esterase. 10. An enzyme that degrades the neurotransmitter acetylcholine after it is released into the synaptic cleft. In vertebrates, acetylcholine is the neurotransmitter used at the neuromuscular junction, where signals are retransmitted between neurons from the central nervous system to muscle fibers. Normally, acetylcholine is released from the neuron to stimulate the muscle, after which it is degraded acetylcholine esterase, allowing the muscle to relax. A build-up of acetylcholine in the synaptic cleft, due to the inhibition of acetylcholine esterase, means the neurotransmitter continues to act on the muscle fiber, so that any nerve impulses are effectively continually transmitted. Sarin acts on acetylcholine esterase by forming a covalent bond with particular sarin residue at the active site. Fluoride is the leaving group, and the resulting organophosphester is robust and biologically inactive. 11. 12. Its mechanism of action resembles that of some commonly used insecticides, such as malarfion. In terms of biological activity, it resembles carbamate insecticides, such as Sarin, and the medicine is pyridostigmine, neostigmine, and physostigmine. Diagnostic tests. Controlled studies in healthy men have shown that a non-toxic 0.43 mg oral dose administered in several portions over a 3-day interval caused average maximum depressions of 22 and 30%. Smiley equals O-C-C-C-C. Property is chemical formula 4H10 for 2p molar mass 140.094 g times mol 1 appearance clear colorless liquid, brownish if impure odor odorless in pure form. Impure Sarin can smell like mustard or burned rubber. Density 1.0887 g/cm3, 25 degrees Celsius, 1.102 g/cm3, 20 degrees Celsius, melting point 56 degrees C, 69 degree F, 217 K, boiling point 158 degrees C, 316 degree F, 431 K, solubility in water miscible of P0.30 hazards occupational safety and health. OS/OSH main acids extremely lethal cholinergic agent. GHS labeling pictograms GHS06 toxic. NFPA 704 fire diamond, NFPA 704 4-colored diamond. 411 threshold limit value, TLV 0.00003 mg/m3. TWA 0.0001 mg/m3, STEL, lethal dose or concentration, LDLC. respectively, in plasma and erythrocyte acetylcholinesterase levels. A single acute 0.5 mg dose caused mild symptoms of intoxication and an average reduction of 38% in both measures of acetylcholinesterase activity. Sarin in blood is rapidly degraded either in vivo or in vitro. Its primary inactive metabolites have in vivo serum half-lives of approximately 24 hours. The serum lead-loth-unbound isopropyl methylphosphonic acid, IMPA, a sarin hydrolysis product, ranged from 135 G/L in survivors of a terrorist attack during the first 4 hours post-exposure. Sarin or its metabolites may be determined in blood or urine by gas or liquid chromatography, while acetylcholinesterase activity is usually measured by enzymatic methods. 13. A newer method called fluoride regeneration or fluoride reactivation detects the presence of nerve agents for a longer period after exposure than the methods described above. Fluoride reactivation is a technique that has been explored since at least the early 2000s. This technique obviates some of the deficiencies of older procedures. Sarin not only reacts with the water in the blood plasma through hydrolysis, forming so-called free metabolites, but also reacts with various proteins to form protein adducts. These protein adducts are not so easily removed from the body and remain for a longer period of time than the free metabolites. One clear advantage of this process is that the period post-exposure for determination of sarin exposure is much longer, possibly 5 to 8 weeks according to at least one study. 14. 15. Toxicity. As a nerve gas, sarin in its purest form is estimated to be 26 times more deadly than cyanide. 16. The LD50 of subcutaneously injected sarin in mice is 172 G/kg. 17. Sarin is highly toxic, whether by contact with the skin or breathing. The toxicity of sarin in humans is largely based on calculations from studies with animals. The lethal concentration of sarin in air is approximately 28-35 mg per cubic meter per minute for a 2-minute exposure time by a healthy adult breathing normally, exchanging 15 liters of air per minute. Lower 28 mg/m3 value is for general population. 18. This number represents the estimated lethal concentration for 50% of exposed victims. The LCT50 value. The LCT95 or LCT100 value is estimated to be 40-83 mg per cubic meter for exposure time of 2 minutes. 19. 20. Calculating effects for different exposure times and concentrations requires following specific toxic load models. In general, brief exposures to higher concentrations are more lethal than comparable long-time exposures to low concentrations. 21. There are many ways to make relative comparisons between toxic substances. The list below compares sarin to some current and historic chemical warfare agents, with a direct comparison to the respiratory LCT50. LD50, median dose, 39 G/kg, intravenous, rat, 3, NIOSH, U.S. Health Exposure Limits IDLH, immediate Edinger, 0.1 mg/m3 Safety Data Sheet, SDS, lethal nerve agent sarin, GB, except where otherwise noted. Data are given for materials in their standard state, at 25 degrees Celsius, 77 degrees Fahrenheit, 100 kPa. Verify, what is check. Infobox references. Sarin, red, acetylcholinesterase, yellow, acetylcholine, blue, hydrogen cyanide, 2860 mg/min times M3, 22, sarin is 81 times more lethal. Phosgene, 1500 mg/min times M3, 22, Sarin is 43 times more lethal. Sulfur mustard, 1000 mg/min times M3, 22. Sarin is 28 times more lethal. Chlorine, 19,000 mg/min times M3, 23. Sarin is 543 times more lethal. Production and structure. Sarin is a chiral molecule because it has 4 chemically distinct